He was in serious trouble, and all he could find was a rusty pair of pliers and a hammer to amputate his own gangrenous toes without anesthesia. He faced a grim choice: amputation or death. This is the amazing story about one of the toughest people who ever lived, Peter Freuchen. Find out what he was willing to do to survive against all odds and why he is rightfully mentioned in this week's episode of Going Full Diehard. Peter Freuchen was born in the remote town of Nykøbing Falster, Denmark. As a boy, he would sneak out of class and wander to the sea, listening eagerly to sailors and fishermen share their adventurous tales. These moments ignited his dream of exploring unknown lands. Despite his father's efforts to curb his adventurous nature by sending him to university so he could study medicine, he abandoned his medical textbooks and pursued a life of adventure. Little did he know that his brief medical training would later save his life. On Freuchen's very first expedition into the Arctic, tragedy struck when his expedition split up. One group succumbed to the cruel elements. Freuchen's group, however, were lucky to survive. The chilling diary of Jørgen Brønlund painted a bleak picture. No food, no footgear, and several hundred miles to the ship. Our prospects are very bad indeed, yet my companion Peter's thirst for adventure grows stronger each day. Although the expedition claimed the lives of 3 explorers, it was still a success. The surviving members, including Freuchen, found his true calling among the Inuit, forming a deep bond with the land and its people, learning their language, culture, and customs, and joining their hunting expeditions. At a towering 6'7", he was a formidable figure, and no one dared challenge him. He feared no one and nothing, not even the fearsome polar bear, which he famously hunted and killed alone. He was now known to the Inuits as the Wandering Viking. One day, Freuchen embarked on a deadly mission aimed to solve the mystery of the Peary Channel. The journey began well, but took a dangerous turn when a sudden snowstorm trapped Freuchen in an icy tomb. The snow around him hardened into an icy coffin, isolating him from his supplies and comrades. Death was certain, but Freuchen was incredibly resourceful. He managed to craft a makeshift knife out of his own gigantic turd by molding it into a crude fowl tool, then froze it and used it to carve his way out. After 30 grueling hours, hacking at the ice with his horrible creativity, he freed himself and faced a 3-hour crawl back to the expedition's base as he could no longer find the strength to walk, battling the relentless Arctic elements. He somehow made it. But to his dismay, he discovered his toes had succumbed to gangrene. With the nearest hospital countless miles away, he faced a grim choice: amputation or death. Frustratingly looking for the right tools, all he could find was a rusty pair of pliers and a hammer. After the necessary twisting, hammering, and butchering, he amputated his own gangrenous toes without anesthesia, an act of sheer willpower and insanity. Despite his efforts, the gangrene spread, and his entire leg had to be amputated. Even with this setback, Freuchen's spirit remained unbroken. He continued his Arctic explorations for decades, navigating the treacherous terrain with a peg leg. We hope you enjoyed that, and there is so much more to show you. Hit that subscribe button, give a like, and join our community for more amazing videos where we get to find out more incredible and tough people to ever have walked the planet.